Hello, everyone. It's Miss Gabby here to tell you all about our newest episode of Teen Reads. Today's episode is all about teens with votes, teens with politics, teens with elections. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, politics? Ew, that's something that you only read about in the news or your textbooks, not in your fiction books that you get from the library. But you might be surprised to learn that politics affect a lot more of your life than you might think. They're not just in the news or your textbooks, they control different aspects of your everyday life. So these are books all about teens learning how politics play a bigger role in their everyday life, teens who are taking a role in politics, either in their local communities or voting in elections, and teens who are dealing with more political things than you might expect. So let's take a look at today's books all about teens with politics, and you can vote on which one is your favorite. The first book today is Running by Natalia Sylvester. This book is about Mari, a Cuban-American sophomore, and her dad is running for president. But as the media focuses on Mari's father and her family, and the news digs deep, Mari learns that maybe her father isn't who she always thought he was. Tensions build in Mari's life, and she finds herself torn between voting for her dad, who has always been her hero, and voting for what she believes is right. Finding your voice is a whole lot harder when the whole world is watching, but Mari isn't about to let that stop her. This next book is You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. In this book, Meg has her entire life planned perfectly. She has a great boyfriend and an awesome best friend who's going to go to college with her in the fall. In her spare time, she does shifts phone banking at a voter registration call center in her Philadelphia suburb. She makes calls to people all over the country to tell them about the voter process and how to be registered. But everything changes after one of the calls she makes connects her to a stranger from a small town in Ohio. Colby is that stranger. Colby is dealing with a family tragedy and other hardships in his life. The last thing he has time for is a privileged rich girl telling him all about how voting will change his life. So he says something terrible. But the conversation doesn't end there. After their first phone call, they have a series of discussions that are sometimes candid, sometimes heated, and always surprising. The two of them learn that there is more to their lives than their political differences, and something starts to grow. Maybe a friendship, maybe something more. Or are they too different to make it work? This book is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. Jamie Goldberg and Maya Raymond are both involved in canvassing for an upcoming state senate election. Canvassing has these two teens going out into the community, educating people about the election and encouraging people to vote. However, one of the candidates introduces a bill that would make wearing a hijab illegal. This bill becomes a heated topic in the community, and an alt-right group starts vandalizing cars and spreading hateful slogans. This is a big problem for Maya, who is Muslim and wears hijab, and Jamie, who is Jewish. Learning to work with one another and how politics spread not just laws, but also ideas, and sometimes hatred versus acceptance, brings Jamie and Maya closer together in their efforts for canvassing and their love life than they ever expected. This next book is The Voting Booth by Brandy Colbert. Marva is ready to vote. She is always ready to make a difference in the world, and voting in her first election is a great step. Duke is so done with the election. All the ads and discussions are boring. He just wants to do it and be done. But Duke is turned away from the polls and not allowed to cast his vote. There are reasons why this might happen, but the biggest reason behind it is often called voter suppression. When Marva sees Duke turned away, she makes it her mission to make sure his vote is counted. After all, it is his right. Marva is determined to make a difference, and she's going to start with Duke. The two have a whirlwind day, making every effort and every attempt to get Duke eligible to vote. The two of them discover that some people have to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to vote. Throughout their efforts, it becomes clear that there's more between the two of them, and that a vote for democracy might also be a vote for love.